Hey guys, lepedaler back with another video. Today I'm going to be comparing the Cannondale SuperSix Evo all-around road bike to the Cannondale SystemSix Aero bike. So without further ado, let's get right into this video. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, I do make bike comparison videos, but I also make other cycling related videos on this channel. And with the support of you guys by liking this video and subscribing to the channel, it just helps with me putting out more content in general and helps the overall growth of the channel. So if you guys could do that, it'd be greatly appreciated. And in the not so distant future, I hope to make videos like this with the actual bikes in hand, but that can only happen if you guys and the viewers and the new viewers can support the channel, help it grow, because it'll be a lot easier to get my hands on these bikes and give actually real world tests. So if you guys could do that, it'd really help me out and just help the content of this channel improve. So we're going to be looking at the SuperSix Evo first. This is the all-around race bike that Cannondale has to offer, and this is the new rendition of the old SuperSix Evo that used to be their all-around climbing race bike, and now this is the new rendition, which is supposed to be very similar to the old one, but just they improved the aerodynamics of the frame. So you can see that right off the bat, if I show you guys the new SuperSix, which we're looking at right now, and compared to the old SuperSix, you can see there's a drastic improvement in terms of aerodynamics on the frame, which is not the only company that's doing this. So Cannondale is not the only company. A lot of companies, Giant just did it. Cannondale was one of the first, but a lot of companies are realizing that for the all-around race / climbing bike, there is room to improve aerodynamics. So you'll see a lot of flares. So it's not a full-on aero bike that is prevalent in the SystemSix, but they're adding those flares on the all-around road bikes that they offer to actually add performance benefits of having aerodynamics incorporated in the frame, whereas before it was really plain, and the aero bike was the only bikes that we really saw that had those aero characteristics. So without that getting too much in depth with aerodynamics, you can see I do like the frame. I like to ride an all-around road bike / race bike, so I really do like the frame geometry, and you can just see that, you know, it's a really nice bike in terms of how it looks. Now, the only thing I have to complain with the SuperSix Evo is why didn't Cannondale put Cannondale on the down tube? That really pisses me off, because especially if you're trying to support a brand and you're going to be riding their bike, you would hope to have their name on your bike rather than the Cannondale be so small, which you guys can see here, and then they have this interesting pattern, and that's something that you don't see on the SystemSix, which is the one that the Pro Team uses. So it's funny how the Pro Team has Cannondale in big letters, which I think looks really nice, especially if you're buying a bike from a bike brand, where the SystemSix that's just for normal purchase still does not have the logo and has a tiny logo on the top tube. So I don't understand that. I think aesthetically it doesn't look nice, because you want to look at a bike and be like, Cannondale, nice, like I like it. Like, you know, there is some pride that a lot of road cyclists have with riding a specific brand, and it's just a nice way of showing off the brand. So I think it's very interesting why Cannondale did that. But now let's look at the specs. So that's what you guys came for. Let's see. So you have Ultegra front derailleur. The crank is a Cannondale crank. Rear derailleurs, Ultegra. Shifters are Ultegra Hydro. Brakes are Shimano, Ultegra. So everything is basically Ultegra except for the crank. And then it has its own Cannondale handlebar and stem. And the rims are hologram carbon clinchers, and those has 25 Victoria. So pretty standard on what you would get at this price point. I think it's a really good value in terms of an all-around race bike / road bike. You get Ultegra everything except for the crank, and it just looks nice. My only pet peeve, without going into like, you know, a rant, is just why did they not put the Cannondale logo on the down tube? Like, that looks nice. This does not. This looks too plain. If they would have put it in a nice white, that would have looked so nice. But other than that, this is the geometry of the bike. I've ridden it before. It's really nice. Rides really smooth, and it really feels like when you're going uphill, you know, it does feel not drastically like you're being held back when you compare it to other climbing bikes or all-around bikes. It still holds up very well, and because of those aero benefits, when you're on the flats, you can keep up relatively very seamlessly with aero bikes, and when you're climbing, you won't have like a performance. So it's like the best of both worlds. I really do like the SuperSix Evo. And now let's compare that to the SystemSix. So there's a price difference just right off the bat of 550 USD. So pretty significant. I've talked about this in my video. A lot of times $500, $600 can go a long way in improving the overall experience. Then again, when you're buying bikes in this price range, you probably already have things like shoes, good helmets, good clothing, so it's not that important. And usually, just off the top of my head, you're going to be paying for the improvement of aerodynamics with the price. And sometimes there will be some parts, like I can maybe guess that the Vision wheels are included in that price raise. Even though they're both carbon, I'm pretty sure Vision wheels are a little bit more expensive, but at the same time, usually you're paying for the increase for the aerodynamics and some parts on the bike. So the SystemSix is Cannondale's race aero bike, so you're getting all the aero benefits from the SystemSix, and you can see that just from comparing both. You can see right here on the seat tube, just big, chunky, and that's usually what you get with aero bikes, is that they have a lot more carbon, a lot more meat on them when compared to the all-around race bike, which can be good. It just really depends on what you plan on doing with the bike. So, you know, for me, an aero bike is something that, you know, if you're doing a lot of criterium racing or a lot of flat riding or a lot of fast group rides, you know, and you want that extra aero benefit, by all means go for it. But, you know, I do plan on, you know, eventually when things are cooled down, when traveling happens, I do want to climb and go to places where I can climb. So it's nice having an all-around bike. Just really comes down to you. I just wanted to say that so you guys keep that in mind. It really depends on what terrain you ride. So let's look at the specs. I'm very sure that the specs are identical to the SuperSix Evo. So Ultegra, front derailleur, crank is hologram BB30, rear derailleur Ultegra, shifters Ultegra, brakes Ultegra Hydro, 160, 140 in the front and the back, just like the SuperSix Evo, and Vision stem, so that they're tweaking some stuff now for the stem. Handlebars Vision, and the rims are Vision 55 carbon clinchers. So it's very interesting right off the bat too. These are not tubeless, which is a disappointment. Let's see if the SuperSix Evo, that is not. Oh, so the SuperSix Evo is tubeless, but these ones are just normal clinchers. So I don't like that. I do not like that. Because especially in 2020, everything is basically going tubeless. Everything on road is tubeless, and I can vouch that just from experience on my bike. That's the first time this season that I'm riding tubeless. It is a great improvement for overall ride quality, especially when you can lower the PSI. It corners better, and just feels a lot better in terms of road vibration. So I don't like to see that these rims don't come tubeless. Is it the end of the world? Definitely not. But it's a little disappointment. But then again, maybe that's why the price is the way it is, because these aren't tubeless ready. And then the other thing too is just you get the same problem that we see on the SuperSix Evo with the logo. And let me get your opinion, and you guys can comment down below, is which bike do you think looks nicer? This SystemSix or this SystemSix? I'm not talking about the componentry. Let's keep the same componentry. Just which SystemSix looks nicer? One with the logo or one without the logo? I think that's the biggest thing that Cannondale did wrong in terms of branding and just in terms of aesthetics. But other than that, the bikes are very similar. So you just have to decide now, what type of riding do you plan on doing? You know, in terms of aero benefits, you will experience a better ride on the flats. You will experience a better ride when you're in a fast group ride on the SystemSix, just because it is an aero bike. Aero bikes are faster on flats. That's not debatable. Now, in terms of all-around riding, in terms of climbing, and in terms of what terrain you ride, you might actually like the SuperSix Evo just because you like the geometry of an all-around bike that not only has aero flares, but also is designed and improved for climbing and all-around riding. So it really depends on what type of riding you do. And yet again, if you guys want to see a more in-depth review and comparison of these bikes, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. So with the growth of the channel, we can get these bikes in hand, get them tested. I don't want to toot my own horn, but I ride a lot. So for me to test bikes like this or other bikes in the future from other brands, it's not a hassle. It's not going to be something that you guys are going to have to wait forever. I can do it relatively fast. So, that can only happen with the support of you guys. So I'd kindly ask yet again, please like this video, subscribe to the channel so we can get the growth of this channel going and get better content out in a relatively fast and efficient manner. So that about wraps it up with comparing the SuperSix Evo to the SystemSix. And if you guys did enjoy the video, I'll say it one more time, smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. And until the next one, keep on pedaling.